Alright, so this is DC We the People news. Alright, arm length again, y'all. Same things going on. I had to apologize on the last video. My little grandbaby was getting a little outspoken. So I don't have any of the fancy stuff around me or anything like that. So we got to do what we can do, right? I'm already this far in. Let's proceed forward.
Okay, United States Union is not United States of America. Yeah, we covered that. I want to show one more thing, because there's always a question of what are you using as your source. Well, I'm using the thing they call the Pocket Constitution, which calls itself the Constitution of the United States. Right? Well, in that document, it says, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union," right? That's what this is about. We're establishing a union to establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, yada, 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 right? And establish this Constitution for the United States of America. So we, the people of the United States, are telling the people, or we're telling the corporation, United States of America, this is what you have to agree to. And it started at Article 1. Well, by the time you get to Article 6, it says, now, if you want to be an officer of the United States, you've got to take an oath. And it hasn't been done. So, my point is the United States is a union. Right? And so we don't need all these other unions that run, that all of the federal workers are part of. They're already in the union. Right? And that union doesn't have to accept another union in its union. They agreed to be in the union by taking the job. Alrighty, so, and we always saw the United States of America. Well, that's owned by King George. It's in a treaty, right? It's in the United States, but it's not the United States, right? But the United States is telling the United States of America what the rules are. They're not being followed because we don't have any officers of the United States to enforce those rules. So only military execute proper oath. You saw the one that the officers take, right? And on this, Form 4 again, here's where this is part of your confirmation of enlistment, right? So I do hereby, that's National Guard. In the National Guard, Army, Navy, in the National Guard. Okay, here's one if you're not in the National Guard. Got it. All right, Constitution of the United States. Well, there you are, right? Support and defend. Well, that's what I'm trying to do, sir. Point out that the people who are required to take an oath to claim to be the government haven't done it. And I'm telling you, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Now, you need to issue an order. That's what you're supposed to do. And because I got my official records from the archives, right, there's mine. Where did I put it? This must be, there it is. I, Robert Allen Orlowski, do solemnly swear or affirm I support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Right, well, unfortunately, we don't have a President of the United States. He didn't take proper oath of office. Okay, so what else happened? Well, okay, we took our oaths. Well, now we got this thing with the gold fringe flag. It's everywhere you go. You look, in some public office, you're going to find gold fringe flags. Well, that flag is covered by an Army regulation, sir. Right, it's Army Regulation AR 840-10, flags and guidons. And we go take just a quick peek at Chapter 2.
There you go. You want a blanket?
Right, so it talks about the flag of the United States and where it's supposed to fly. Right, you see that every place it talks about is military. The flag of the United States will be displayed outdoors at all Army installations. Only one flag of the United States will be flown over one time at any continental United States Army installations, which have other federal agencies. Attendance may prevent other federal agencies from displaying a U.S. flag. On and on and on. Right, now the only place other than, the military that can have a flag is, they make an exception for schools. And I think the generals. Well, we go a little bit further down here. Now we're going to get into the national flag listed below for indoor display for use in ceremonies and parades. And that flag will be heavy nylon trimmed on 3 sides with gold yellow fringe, 2 1/2 inches wide. Then it tells you where it can be authorized to be displayed, right? The flag of the United States is authorized for display. Office headquarters, authorization, positional colors, distinguishing flag, organization, battalion size, military offices not otherwise authorized an indoor flag. Military courtrooms, U.S. Army elements, subordinate element of the U.S. Army Recruiting Committee, ROTC, senior executive. In other words, everything to do with the military. Right? If there's a gold fringe flag, that office is somehow tied to the military. And one of the things I had talked about was that even churches, right, have a flag. Right? So you go into a Catholic church or many Protestant churches, I mean, you have to go look yourself and see, but you're going to find gold fringe flags there. Well, that's not a decoration, right? It was given to them because they were given a commission by the military. And the proof of that is that right in 1918, the Catholic Church came out with this handbook of the National Catholic War Council. And in this, it talks about how the fact that this council was created so that it could be given a military commission by the military. And they're supposed to act as a cooperating agent with other wartime agencies. Well, who are they? Well, they're the other places with the gold fringe flag. Right? And that's, so we're supposed to go to our agent, which would be the church, if you were just a civilian, to the church, or if you're a member of a church and you got some issue that needs to be dealt with, and they're supposed to act as your agent with these other agencies. But instead, we go to this thing that we believe to be the court, which has got a gold fringe flag, so it's actually a wartime agency, to try to take care of our business without having gone to our agent first. Right? Well, that's for civilians. Well, as a member of the military, we have our own way to get in, and that would be to have our symbol as our ID card. That we get to go through the gold fringe flag jurisdiction because we have an ID card. That we don't have because of the things I'm going to talk about now, that, even though you have a discharge document, we've never actually been discharged from the military. And we should have an ID card. Okay, almost done here, sir. So, the video I did, my last video, Uncle Sam ain't released me yet, had to do with this, right? That I have this honorable discharge. Now, I served 3 years, got out the year, went back. So, this is my one from my first time, 1983. And, it says, Armed Forces of the United States of America, certified that Berlusky Robert Allen, honorable discharge, United States Army. Well, I was complaining at the time because the name is backwards, right? And I had read, well, you could serve under a fictitious name, whatever, so, you could have a middle initial in there maybe or whatever. But if you wanted to get the records changed, you could. So that's what I did. And they fixed it, right? And so they gave me a new one. I had my name the other way. But it still had Armed Forces of the United States of America, United States Army. Well, come to find out, those aren't really the proper terms. Right? And the proof of it is, all this stuff is, right? So here's the enlistment form you fill out. It says Armed Forces of the United States. It does not say Armed Forces of the United States of America. Right? And then there's this thing called the Army of the United States, which is what U.S.Army stands for, as we'll look in a minute. But it says that the term Army of the United States, or Armies of the United States, is the legal name of the collective land forces of the United States, as prescribed by the United States Constitution. So, the proper name is Army of the United States. So I was not discharged from the same army I went into by the document that I was given that says I've been discharged. How's that thing at? This thing. Right? This is just something they gave you so you believe that you've been discharged. Well, I'm still in the military. Well, if that's the case, then I'm still getting paid. I don't know how I ended up in the military. Still, Well, I do, because they wanted us to be in there because they're collecting our pay. Right? Putting it in an account someplace and living off the interest. And if you were to look up the the Military Retirement Fund, right? Military Retirement Fund, Google it, you can find an audit for it that shows that it has over $1 trillion of paid retirement in it that was going to go to somebody, but they didn't collect it for whatever reason. There's an error in the records. They got it, they didn't turn in their canteen. They got some freaking gig against them, so they're not getting their pay, whatever stupid thing it would be to keep you from getting your entitlements. I'm going to show in my next video that when it comes to the IRS, it's a 20-cent penalty that's been put on without any reason for the penalty being there. We'll save that for a different video. My point is, right, that this document here didn't discharge me from the military that I entered into. And you combine that with, if you get your long form DD-214 and take a look at it, that it's got errors in it that, like on mine, it didn't have dental care. You can't be discharged, you didn't have dental care as part of your health, your health review before you get out. And I didn't sign mine. Right? So, all sorts of things are wrong with it. And so, again, I did it all in another video. I won't tell too much here. But all this stuff done, because of these errors, I had gone to look at this particular DOD instruction manual.
Alrighty. We'll finish it off on the next one, y'all. Jason, We the People News.